All right, Schlockmeister fans, we're going to watch something called The Mad Butcher. Let's check it out. Our film starts with a crazy guy running from the Mad Butcher. Or so he thinks. Otto Layman is coming out of the mental institution.
Put that in writing?
I have. I made up this document. It is your proof.
The actor Victor Bono.
The authorities insist that you keep it with you at all times. Sign the papers and permit his release.
And that's his wife. He didn't like her.
The shame of a poor wife, having her husband locked up in a lunatic asylum. The gossip from the neighbors.
May I remind you, Mrs. Layman, that the papers committing Otto to this institution were signed and executed by you.
Otto is the best butcher in Vienna, so he says.
Animals tear meat. Butchers carve it with art and with love.
Turns out he has a neighbor that he spies on sometimes.
I have no time, Hannah. The shop takes every minute.
And what will people say? Everyone in Vienna knows you come back. What will they think?
He refuses to sleep at home.
Set foot in our house, Otto.
He sleeps in the
They'll think of me, huh?
butcher shop instead.
That's right, young man. 3 years back in Vienna, there was a mad butcher who hit me with some liver. And what do you think the police did?
Nothing?
Nothing.
Nothing, my foot. We arrested him and sent him off to Dr. Kramer's lunatic asylum.
Otto gets busted spying on the neighbor.
You like what you're watching?
I was watching a beautiful woman take off her clothes. I was watching the most wonderful sight created.
Well, she chews him out, and then he snaps. And then he snaps her neck. He's unsure what to do with the body of his dead wife. And then it hits him.
Meat is meat.
And man's gotta eat. This is his brother-in-law, Carl, who works for him. He catches him with a whore. Well, that's a local cop.
I have another bottle for you noisy cats in case you try to come back.
Hey, you should watch it. You can kill somebody that way, you know.
You'll be investigated and found out.
Don't make Otto angry.
You're the one who killed my cat. But the police will avenge my poor Shatsy. A second.
Good morning.
Morning.
The fact is she's been away from the club too long. The bartender told me just now.
So what?
It seems she disappeared just like Hannah. She's been missing 3 days.
Probably out having a good time.
His next victim is the redhead.
Come and pick it
And you know what he does with her? She's become sausage. Carl goes to the police.
Well, this Simmers states that his fiancée, Fraulein disappeared 2 days ago without a trace. Now, Mr. Bruner, I think you know quite a lot about this.
Me? Why?
Well then,
Hannah. It's at the church with Sister Hannah. Otto says that she has run away with someone. But that's not right. It can't be true. In the house. No.
we have a regular...
So the police go to investigate the butcher shop.
What's in this?
Careful, Inspector. Sulfuric acid.
What's it used for?
To clean the bones before crushing them.
Otto then attacks Carl. Are we gonna get our first gore of the film? Nope. He does kill him though. He invites that woman Berta to move in above the butcher shop. The cop is watching.
118. Miss Hensel goes into Layman's house.
Of course, he can't help but spy on her, too. And then he bursts in.
No, you must not.
And our next shot is a plate of
Mr.
sausages.
Layman,
What is it, officer?
your sausages.
What's wrong with my sausages?
Nothing's wrong.
According to your friend Lawrence, Otto Layman has killed 4 people who were last seen in and around his shop.
I beg your pardon, sir, but I know all about this.
But your men's efficient surveillance of the area shows us that not one body has been discovered in the butcher shop. Inspect all sausages for buttons.
They found something inside one of the
Yes,
sausages.
that's right. Look, everybody, and these are supposed to be the best.
That's not the only one. The cop recognizes it as belonging to Berta.
It's hers.
Turns out he didn't kill her, but
Upstairs.
she somehow managed to throw a couple of things in his vat of sausages to get people's attention, which worked. Cops burst in. And after a brief struggle, into the meat grinder he goes. And out comes Otto in sausage form.
Sausages I mean were made of human flesh.
And that's basically it. See what they did there? All right, a view from the car today. It's been a while since I did one here. The Mad Butcher, otherwise known as Meat is Meat, which is the on-screen title of this Something Weird DVD that I've had here. I've had this DVD in my collection for well over 20 years. I've never watched the DVD until today. I have, however, seen the movie. I rented this maybe in 1998 from somewhere, copied it, watched it then, and haven't seen it since. Didn't remember anything about it. So what we got here, it's a theme that's been covered in other movies before. Bloodthirsty Butchers comes to mind. Motel Hell, in a sense, as well. We have Victor Buono. I'm not sure how you pronounce his name. I think he was in a Star Trek episode, original Star Trek, I think. He was in the movie The Evil, which I reviewed. I always liked that one. He is an actor who looks much older than he was. In this movie here, he was like 33. He looks 20 years older. In all the movies he did, he always plays a guy who looks just 30 years older than himself. But anyway, he's a guy who apparently was in a lunatic asylum for 3 years. I'm not exactly sure why. Maybe I missed that. But he comes out and he refuses to live with his wife. Instead, he has this place over the butcher shop that he runs. He considers himself the best butcher in Vienna, so now he wants to get back into business again, which he does. At one night, his wife is yelling at him, "Come home, come home, come home." And he snaps, and he ends up choking her and killing her. Doesn't know what to do with the body, so he chops it up and makes sausages out of her. That's the plot of this movie. He's a sausage maker, and he uses people as his victims. Meat is meat. And man's got to eat, as they said in Motel Hell, right? So anyway, he kills a few people here and there. It's mostly women, or did he kill a guy too? I can't remember, but yeah, I think he did. Anyway, I can't remember. But anyway, the local police are investigating the missing people, and they always have an eye on Otto Layman because of his past. Again, I don't know what his past exactly was, other than the fact that he's just recently come out of the lunatic asylum. Eventually, he invites his woman to stay, and he spies on this woman also, on women also. But he invites her to stay, and then he breaks into her room after spying on her. And we thought he killed her, but I guess he dumped her in a crate and then kept her for a while. Somehow, the woman ended up putting some rings or something, personal effects into the mix of where he's making his meat, so somebody might find it. And that's exactly what happened. Someone's eating one of his sausages and finds a ring in it. And then the cop sees that, freaks out. He recognizes that as Berta's ring. Berta's the woman, and he's kind of seeing her a little bit. So he runs there, and they investigate again, and they catch him in the act, and they end up having a struggle, and he's flipped and falls into the meat grater himself and becomes ground up sausages. I like the little touch at the end where they said bon appetit, but then they spelled Bono, whatever his name is. That was kind of cool. Anyway, that is The Mad Butcher. It's an enjoyable film. It's got a little bit of nudity in it. Although the only thing that's missing though is gore. You'd think a movie like this would have tons of it, but it actually doesn't. The murders that take place, they're just not gory. He chokes his victims, snaps their neck, that sort of thing. We don't see them cut up or chopped. We do see some meat, like real meat butchered up and such, and sausages and that, but no real gore at all. But anyway, I still found it an entertaining film. It's a very short film, like 81 minutes long, so it goes by pretty quickly. And Victor Buono, he's always kind of entertaining to hear. Now, this was an Italian film, I believe. However, Victor did his own language in English, but I think some of the other actors were dubbed. But anyway, that's it from Something Weird. This movie, the DVD, this was one of those legit DVDs that Something Weird put out, not one of the DVD-Rs that they did so many of over the years. Yeah, this one's not a bad film at all. You can get this on eBay. I looked at it. It was about $30 to $35 in that range. I don't think it's on Blu-ray. I'll leave a link to something down below, probably this DVD here itself. Got a couple of extras, including something called Cannibal Massage, which I kind of fast-forwarded watching that. I don't know what that was. But anyway, check it out. Leave some comments. Let me know what you think about Meat is Meat, otherwise known as The Mad Butcher. Watch it. Bye.